Hi there, this is Michael Savage. I feel the need to go live tonight again. It's all based on my need to go live. I'm not making any money from this, but I'm enjoying talking with you as though you are in my kitchen. I gotta move over here for a minute. My little kitchen, my cottage by the sea. Some people like simple lives, like myself. I could live in a mansion. To me, simple is better. So, first of all, before I get too talkative, I'm going to move a few things around here. Okay. Turn the chicken a little. See, it's getting crispy, which is the way I want it. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, so this is not like a cooking show. There's like no show you've ever seen in your life, because it's not a show. No lights, action, camera. There's no staff, there's no crew, there's no prop guns. There's no Hollywood scumbags who should be thrown out of the country. There's no Alec Baldwin. For 30 years, every movie, beating, stabbing, kicking, cursing, the big Irishman, the big tough Irishman, guns, every scene a gun. Remember in the 80s what happened from these Hollywood scum? Every movie showed a whore standing there with a gun next to her breasts. Every Hollywood whore had a gun in every movie poster around America. And now the sub-morons all have guns. The sub-morons who don't know any better are all walking around like the whores of the 80s with a gun in their hand, including Alec Baldwin, who I consider to be one of the whores of America, the whore of Babylon. But I didn't tune in tonight to talk about Alec Baldwin, who belongs, by the way, in prison, arrested, and tried for accessory to homicide. If it was you, if it was a policeman would be tried for murder. There are riots outside the police station with Ilhan Omar, who curse the police every day and don't know why the crime is rising in Minneapolis because of scum like her. How did this happen to America? Like, I don't know. Government zero. Every book I've written, I try to warn you. All right, but let's move on to today. Forget about what I've written and what I've warned you. Tomorrow's podcast is probably my most important. It's about the fall of Cambodia to communists. It's about the fall of Phnom Penh under Pol Pot. And it's an interview I did with a gentleman who flew one of the last planes out of Phnom Penh before it fell to the 14, 15-year-old scum called the Khmer Rouge, the Red Scarves. They are the Antifa of the time. They are the Black Lives Matter of today. They are the people who are pushing white people in front of subway cars. They are the people punching old white men in the face across America. Something Mark Zuckerberg won't tell you about. I'm giving you the unvarnished truth. Drop dead if you don't like it. Get the hell out of my life. I don't care if I get blocked. I don't care what happens. It's too late. You gods of the social media, you filth, destroyed this country by letting lowlives and murderers and criminals have an equal voice to the Einsteins of our time. Drop dead, all of you. Tomorrow's podcast, Michael Savage Podcast. Yes, I do want you to listen to it, you morons, you. Well, not my loyal audience. The morons who don't know what's going on. They have no idea what's waiting for them. They do not know the hell they've unleashed upon this society. And if they think they will be immune when they come for you, the middle class, they are gravely mistaken. People are saying, oh, the difference here is we have the Second Amendment. When a government rolls out tanks and planes on you, that Second Amendment won't be too handy. When Joe Biden, who pretends to be senile, rolls it out on you. You know, I saw an article before I started to cook tonight by Noam Chomsky, a long-time hateful communist. The Italians have the best word for a Noam Chomsky. Strunza. Noam Chomsky. You know what he's been his whole life? Bernie Sanders. All the same. Hateful communists. So Noam Chomsky, the hero of the scum on the left who know nothing about history, came out today finally and nakedly showed who he is. You know what he said? The unvaccinated should be separated from society. This is so-called liberalism. Liberals are fascists. Now, others have said that since I first coined the term. I don't care who gets credit, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you wake up before it's too late. Before you are in the gulag. Before you are beaten by the left-wing 14-year-old scum unleashed upon the middle class. If you idiots still don't see the handwriting on the wall, you will never see it. It'll be too late by the time you are rounded up. By the time you are rounded up. You get it? Tomorrow's podcast, I don't even have a title. I can't figure out a title. Would you believe it? Of all of my podcasts, I was thinking of calling it What Happens When People Are Disarmed. What happens when a civilian population loses its ability to defend itself. But none of those titles work. I could just call it The Fall of Cambodia Under Communism. What happens when Bernie Sanders and occasional Cortex take full power? I don't know the title. I'm still working on it. But it's early in the night. But it's not too early for my brain to work. There's one picture I have to show you. I didn't mean to. I don't want to walk you through my cottage, but I'm going to. Not giving anything away. What a storm we had yesterday. Global warming, climate change. Schmucks. The wettest winter we ever had in California and San Francisco was 1886. 1886, the wettest winter in history. I don't have the magazine I'm looking for. It shows the roundup of guns. Here it is, I got it. It's an interesting story unto itself. It is worth telling you about. I can't show it on the podcast. I've had this magazine in my possession for many years. See the Mountain of Skull? What your predecessors did in Cambodia? That was a communist revolution. Look at it very carefully. Those were human beings, just like us. And you did it to them. Your predecessor, Pol Pot, did it to them. How did he do it? Here's how it started. See the roundup of the weapons? That's a street corner. After the communists under Bernie Sanders of Cambodia, Pol Pot took over. See it? See who's rounding up the guns? 14-year-old sub-moron. Like Antifa, like Black Lives Matter. You see him? He was deputized by Pol Pot, by Bernie Sanders, by occasional Cortex. And they made all people give up their guns. Listen to me carefully. This is history. Real history. Not fake history. Not Andy Cooper, who belongs in a prison cell for what he's done to this country. Not any of them. I'm giving you the unvarnished truth from an unvarnished man. This is the reality. You better never, ever comply with the government saying, give us your guns. Never. Once they have that power, they will kill you. Have a nice night.